Hey, welcome back. I am Soren, and here with me is Kathy. So today we are talking about something that might sound very simple, right? But we're actually talking about something that makes a huge difference and has a big impact over families across the state of Florida, specifically those that have children with disabilities. So we are diving into why taking the ESC survey matters. And right now, we are specifically going to be talking for our pre-K families.
Yes, absolutely. And we know surveys can sometimes feel like just another thing on your list, right? But
Yeah.
this one really helps shape services and supports and experiences for families just like yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And, today we are going to focus on some really encouraging results from the 23-24 survey data, especially the pre-K indicators, because that's what we're talking about in this section. And these are some bright spots that are worth celebrating. Kathy, oftentimes I remember when my son was in pre-K, was not very busy diving into surveys and not really understanding why I have to do it because he was 3 years old. But it is really important to start, right away doing the survey, right?
I agree. I remember those times with Sam, and I was just worried about getting language and body training.
Yeah, yeah. Body training was my number one on the list.
So before we jump into the highlights, let's keep in mind that this survey is about family experiences,
Yeah.
like real families, real children, real interactions with early childhood and ESC services.
Right, like you and I, Kathy, and you, the family that we serve. And we also want to remind you, the parents that are watching with us today, that your response is valuable. You're not just checking boxes, right? You are telling your story, which is actually your experience. And your experience and answers are going to be helpful to decision makers for them to understand what's working and where improvements are needed.
And for pre-K specifically, this is such a critical time. I mean,
Yeah,
those early experiences really set the tone for everything that follows. You know,
yeah, for
help me
sure.
out. Is it, school readiness,
Uh,
confidence,
Communication, that's a big one, right?
communication, relationships, all of
Uh,
that.
Absolutely. And it's when you're in pre-K, that's kind of like where it starts. It's the basis for later on turn taking, playing, and working in projects later, right? So we when we see positive feedback in these early years, it's really matter because it tells us we're are building a strong foundation. All the things that Kathy and I just mentioned, that's the foundation for later. All right, so Kathy, let's start with going over a couple of the reported areas of success from the 23-24 survey results. And when Kathy and I are going to go over a couple of these indicators, and then at the end, we're going to show you how it actually looks like the report, okay? So the first one is the preschool staff respect my culture.
I love this one because we talk about culture and we're talking about identity, values, traditions, language, everything that makes family what they really are.
Exactly. And for families, especially those that are from different backgrounds, feeling respect is huge. It's not just about being welcome, it's about being understood. Like even in the same county, you have different areas. So, it's about where you're coming from and what your family values are.
And it shows that staff are making an effort to learn about those families, right? Not just seeing them as part of a system or a number, but truly as individuals.
Yeah, for sure. So seeing this as a result, tell us that many families are experiencing that respect, and that's something worth recognizing, right? And to continue to build on. We know that is going well, and we keep doing what we're doing and improve on that.
The next one is my child's evaluation was written in understandable language.
Now, this might seem small or, not insignificant, but this is actually a very, very big deal.
Huge deal. Yeah, because evaluations can be filled with technical terms, educational jargon, and that clinical language that can feel very overwhelming for families.
Right. And when families don't understand the evaluation, it creates barrier. And then informed fully participation to make decision about their child is kind of like not really happening, right?
When it's written in understandable language, then it changes everything. And then families can engage, they can ask more informed questions, and really speak up for their child more effectively.
Yeah, and it also shows respect for families as a partner at the table, at the IEP table, to be more specific. And it says you deserve to understand this. You are part of the team.
For PreK families, especially those new to those ESE services, this can be their first experience with the evaluation. So clarity really matters even more at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing this as a reported success tells us that progress is being made in communication in this area. And that is one of the key factors in strong participation, strong collaboration between school and families. And Kathy, you touched on a very important point earlier. As pre-K families, you're new to the system. Um, we have so many acronyms in our special education, right? That is
Yeah, yeah.
just so difficult to grasp and understand everything when you just start the
So, and
pre-K.
we need to remember to share our acronyms brochure in the link
Yes,
below. We'll put that
yes.
in there. It's a great tool. It's like a little cute little trifold, and it's got all those ESC acronyms right there for you.
Yes, yes. And so we put the link so you can have it digitally as well and keep that on your phone. You can screenshot it, have it on your phone with all those acronyms. So yeah, it is important to understand what it means. I remember that one of the evaluation of my son said um, it was illegible. I think it was writing, sorry. And it was like, well, that doesn't sound really nice. But I did not know at the time that that is actually the technical word to write it in the evaluation and the IEP. So very important, the communication. And we want to highlight one more indicator. And so the third one, which also shows success in the pre-K, is the indicator ESE staff are available to speak to me.
That continues our conversation. This goes right back to access and communication, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because families need to know that when they have a question, a concern, or even just need reassurance that there is somebody there for them.
Availability doesn't just mean physically present.
Mm-mm.
It means being approachable.
Yeah,
It means responsive.
yeah,
Means just someone there willing to listen.
exactly, Kathy. And it's about feeling like you're not alone in the process because sometimes it does feel like you're by yourself, right?
Yeah. And for families navigating early childhood services, that connection can make a huge difference. It might reduce, well, I know for me, it reduced stress.
Yeah, for
It
me
made
too.
me more confident.
Yeah.
Um, I felt like I had stronger collaborations as well.
Yeah, it felt like I was closer to my team. So when families report that staff are available to speak to them, it tells us that relationships are being built, and honestly, that is at the heart of effective support relationship. That's what it's all about, right?
It really is. So when we look at all these three areas together, Soren, respect for culture, understandable evaluations, what was the third one? Staff availability, we start to see a bigger picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's about relationship, it's about communication, and it's about trust.
And these successes didn't happen by accident.
Mm-mm.
They happened because families shared their experiences.
Yeah, and that's the key. The survey gives families, you with us here today, a voice. And that voice leads to change, to improvement, and recognition that that's working and
So
what's not
you're going to
working.
hear, yeah, so you're going to hear this question kind of like a thread throughout our day today. So if you're listening and thinking, the question is, does my response really matter? And the answer is always yes, absolutely yes. Your experiences are so meaningful to this process.
Yes, applause for that. So
Yeah.
absolutely, your feedback helps highlight strengths like these, and it also helps identify areas where more support is needed. So uh, please use your voice. Your voice matters.
Mhm. We know life is busy, especially with young children,
Oh
very
yeah,
busy.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like we don't have enough hours in a day, right?
Yeah. Taking just a few minutes to complete the survey can have such a lasting impact, not just for your child, but for other families across Florida.
Yes, and it helps ensure that programs continue to grow in ways that truly support families.
And it helps us continue to celebrate what's working, like the successes we talked about today, but then also improve on things that maybe need a little more support.
Yeah, and Kathy, to go back to something we mentioned in another segment was that Florida is not the only state that
Mm-mm.
is doing these surveys. So it is also good to have this data to compare state by state how we are doing, and maybe take best practices from other states where in the areas that can be improved, right?
Yeah. And those are powerful indicators that families are being heard, respected, and supported.
Yeah. So to recap this segment of the pre-K, we are seeing strong positive feedback in three key areas, right? So the first one was preschool staff respect my culture. My child's evaluation was written in language that I understand. And the third last one was ESE staff are available to speak to me. But we want to keep that momentum going, and that starts with what, Kathy? With
Filling out the survey.
yeah, participation.
Yep. So if you receive the survey, just take a few minutes to complete it. Either you get the paper copy or you do the online survey, your voice truly makes a difference.
Absolutely. So please, 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 again, like Kathy said, we're going to keep saying it in every section. Your voice matter.
Now, we know life is busy, especially, gosh, especially for young children, right?
Busy. I mean, there is not enough time, hours in the day, right, to just get through the basic things we need to do.
But just taking a few minutes to complete the survey can have such a lasting impact, not just for your child, but other families across Florida.
Yeah, for sure. And it helps ensure that programs continue to grow in ways that truly support your family. It's ways that you need it to work.
And it helps us continue celebrating the things that are working, like the successes we talked about today. And also look at things that might need a little more support.
For sure. And Kathy, like we talked earlier about that Florida is not the only state that does the survey, and there are other states that use the same indicators. It's really good to, from time to time, compare state data to see what is going good, what's different, and maybe we can improve, take best practices, or there are areas that we are excelling at and we can share with other states so they can improve.
Speaking of, let's not forget to share that survey before the end of the session.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here.
So this is the results.
Yeah, so this is
what they see as that
yeah, so this is for the preschool, and this is what you will see, the schools get to see. As you can see, like we mentioned, they cannot see individual results, right? So this is kind of like the general numbers that you see by district, how
the
many.
trend. They see a trend.
Yeah, absolutely. And here you can see how many ESC members, number of completed survey, and this is what it's all about. We want to see these numbers go up, right, Kathy?
Be in competition with those other states.
Yes, yes. So we definitely want these numbers to go higher. We want, we would like to see 100%, right? All right, so then let's look here. So here is where we can see those indicators. This was one of the ones that Katya and we discussed. And then 94% of the people that filled out this survey agree with this indicator. And then the second one was that the evaluation was written in understandable language, and 91% says that they agree. So here we can see the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Wait, let's back up. Let me look at some of those lower numbers, some things that might need a little more support.
Here, these are the lowest ones.
So connecting for mutual support, parents of, early childhood, they might just be learning about support groups. And so that's something that we help at FND is connect families to community resources and nearby support groups. We also help with training and connect with other collaborating agencies. So sometimes it's just a matter of parents knowing where the resources are coming from. This webinar, all-day series, is kind of a training to help families understand the importance of the ESE survey. So
yeah, and Kathy, that's a good point. We collaborate with many school districts out there. We have lunch and learns, in person, virtual. So if you are watching today and you would like for us to come and do presentations at your school, connect with us, or connect us with your staffing specialist, and we're more than happy to come and support you and the school.
We do series of workshops, and we can, tailor them to exactly what your support group's looking for. Do a topic a month. Um, a lot of very important information, and it comes along with some great one pagers, and that you'll
Yeah.
also get that link in the links below.
Yes, and then in I think 2 segments from now, we are going to do a walkthrough of our website, and we're going to be showing you those one-page resources. So stay tuned.
Yep, so
Kathy.
let's recap. Let's just
Yeah.
do a little recap.
Oh my goodness, I'm already in a rush to get to our website. You're absolutely right. So recap, okay? So we are seeing strong positive feedback in 3 key areas when we are talking about the survey we just showed, 23-24 results. Is preschool staff respect my culture? My child's evaluation was written in understandable language, and the ESE staff are available to speak to me.
These are powerful indicators that families are being heard and respected and supported.
Yeah, yeah. And we want this momentum to keep going. So please fill the survey, because it starts with participation.
Participation.
Yeah.
So if you receive the survey, just take a few minutes to complete it. Could be the paper one or the online version. Your voice truly makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you for joining us. We will be back shortly in the next segment, where we are going to talk about the K to 12 indicators. See you in a bit.